A very good afternoon to you. My name is Mbithe Mwema. I am the host of Markets Today here on Metropole TV. As you can see, I am dressed in so many colors. You know the reason why? I'm excited. It's a new month. It's the 1st of September. Some of my colleagues are telling me they're excited that it's already Christmas. I'm like, no, we have a few more months to go. But certainly a happy new month to you. I hope you have your investment goals ready. And if not, this is certainly the place you want to be, because we want to help you articulate your own financial goals for this particular month. And how we do this is by presenting the insights, giving you the facts, giving it to you fresh off the oven, just as it comes out. Let's start off today by taking a look at what happened on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. I will be taking you through the data points that are provided to us courtesy of Harvest. Thereafter, we did reach out to you yesterday and ask you, what do you want us to tell you in our Ask Mbithe segment? A couple of you are able to reach out to us. I will be answering those questions. Again, I also invite you to join us today. Tell us, where are you watching us from? What questions would you like us to answer? I will share a bit more on that later on in the show. If you have been joining us for this week, today, second day, we are still looking at the bank financials. Yesterday, we had a deep dive for the Tier 1 banks. Today, we're switching it up a bit higher and looking at the Tier 2 banks. Tier 1 banks being the big names that you know: Kenya Commercial Bank Group, that's KCB Group, Equity, Cooperative Bank. What is happening in the Tier 1? Today, we are looking at the Tier 2 banks, trying to understand, was the theme different? Was the economic operating environment different in terms of the impact on the bottom line? We'll also be touching on other non-financial companies. Key in mind, Nation Media, Bamburi Cement, and NSC. What is happening there? We've seen some numbers do extremely well, like the NSC, other numbers not doing too well. What is the rationale for this? That will be our conversation after the break. But let's take it back to the NSC, and our graphics team will help us out by putting up the charts so we can see what was happening yesterday on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Key thing for you and what we have been talking about is the foreign investors. They tend to be about 65% of the market. Now, in the month of August, it was a summertime for them, summer holiday, so to speak. So they were largely out of the market. However, from last week on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and now Monday, we've seen them come consecutively back on a back-to-back basis to the market. They have turned into net buyers. Earlier in the year, because of COVID, they were actually net sellers. Now, when the foreign investors become net buyers, it's actually a trigger point for you to pay attention. What does this mean? It means that you could have possibly missed the bus if you did not buy some of the opportunities we highlighted in the month of August. But it also means that there could be another opportunity for you to buy now for the long term, before the demand actually begins to outweigh supply and actually push up the prices. Let's have a look at what was happening in terms of movement. Safaricom was the top mover there with 25.9 million shares traded. We had Equity Group, about 5.8 million shares traded. We had BK Group, 3.2 million shares traded. And the list continues, which is provided here by Harvest. KCB Group, 2 million. Cooperative Bank, 1 million. Safaricom Bank Group is actually nearing the 30 shilling point. Anytime it gets to over 30, we tend to see a bit of profit taking. In other words, we see sellers getting out of this particular stock. This volume that you're seeing from yesterday was largely driven by the fact that 31st of August was the closure date, was the record date for the dividend that this company had issued earlier in the year. We expect to see a downward correction to be able for the market to actually reflect the exclusion of the dividend that this company will be paying, and we expect the volumes to taper off and the price to come off from the 30 shilling range. So 25 million shares were traded there. Let's have a look at the next slide that is also provided to us courtesy of the Harvest. We have the top gainers list there. Stanley Fahari, it was the worst one. It made up the list of losers from the Friday trading segment, but on the Monday trading segment, it was actually up 7%. We keep saying that there could be a subtle opportunity here for the long term, perhaps if you're looking at the real estate, largely because of the price. 5.5 shillings means it's trading below its book value. The book value represents the value of the assets that this company holds, which are largely in the real estate sector. Iron also showed a bit of recovery yesterday, up 6% to 46%. We will be looking at the numbers later on in the show. Jubilee Holdings, some good performance there, up 5 percentage points. This is the only company that has actually issued a dividend in this reporting season for the banks and the insurance companies on the NSE. Then I think we have that list continuing there. We have Apsa. We have talked about Apsa. It's up 4.6% to 9.98%. We will be talking about the results for Apsa. The profit after tax was down 85%. But what we are saying is the core operations were actually quite robust. There were very strong numbers in the core. The thing that actually ate into their bottom line was the loan loss provision, which was up slightly over 200 percentage points for the period that they reported. At this level, I think if you are looking to make a 20% return, you probably have a bit more upside if you're trading off from a point of 9 shillings because you're trying to see can it get to about 13 shillings, give or take. There could be an opportunity there for a short-term speculative play when we're looking at Barclays. Olympia Capital, it made up the list of losers on Friday, a bit of recovery there, 4.35 percentage points to 2.4. Let's have a look at the next slide, which gives us an overlay of the losers for the day. Nairobi Business Ventures was also on the top losers list on Friday. It's still here topping the list as well, down almost 7 percentage points to 0.55 shillings per share. Wpp Scan Group, something that has been on the radar. We've gotten numerous questions on this particular stock. It's now down 5.83% to trade at 6.14. Recall, this stock had actually hit a high of 30 shillings per share. This was driven by a special dividend of 8 shillings per share that was paid out in the last month. Now, post the record date for this particular dividend, we did see it correct to a price of about 12-13 shillings, and it has continued on the downward trajectory to 6.14. Is there a trading opportunity there? I want you to keep it here, and I hope you can join us on Friday as we do a deep dive on our Ask Mbithe segment, trying to articulate the case for WPP, what has happened and what could possibly happen in the near term. However, I think the key risk factor here is this company had a one-off event. It actually sold off one of its subsidiaries, and it was able to relay the funds from the subsidiaries to its existing shareholders. The space it operates in, which is really PR and media placement, which is the placement of advertising space, is not doing too well, largely because of COVID. This could have a negative impact on the operations for the second half year. And what we are saying is that the special dividend could have possibly been a one-off dividend. So at 6.14, you want to be cautious and really understand the business before you start investing in it. We have Longhorn there, again, still going down 4.65 percentage points to 4.51, heavily affected by the closure of the economy. Longhorn supplies books to the primaries and secondary schools in Kenya. It's one of the affiliated providers of content working with the Ministry of Education. We did see a tank in their numbers, a 33% drop in turnover, and they reported a loss for the half year. So that's a downward price trend on Longhorn. Stanbic was also down 4 percentage points to 74 shilling, and we have East African Cables. I think we have one more slide lined up for you. I think we can move to the next slide. That's our graphics team. That's on the indices. Okay, fantastic. So that's what we have for you in terms of the NSE. Now, let's take a quick look at Ask Mbithe. Ask Mbithe is really a space where we invite you to come and speak to us. Tell us where you're watching us from. But more importantly, we like to take this time to just help you understand some of the concepts that are up your alley. If you have any questions, you know our number, 20146. That is our SMS line. We're also available on all social media platforms. You can reach out to me. My name is Mbithe Mwema, or you could reach out to us on Metropole TV. I have a list of some of the people who did exactly that yesterday, and I will be reading out their questions today. And I hope for you, if you are watching, please reach out to us, and we'll hope to have you up on our screens tomorrow as we answer your questions. So we start off here with a question from one of our viewers who was asking, where can I put 1 million shillings and be getting a monthly return for personal use? So when you're looking at 1 million shillings, there are a couple of things that you can do. First and foremost, you want to consider what are your key financial needs. So are you looking to put 1 million because you already have other sources of income, or do you want to make 1 million your core investment that then gives you money every month? It's important to have this clear distinction because you can invest it in a passive manner. Passive manner means you probably put it in government bonds. Today, they're yielding about 7.3 to 7.5 percentage points. That's for 1 year. That's the return you could get on a 1 million shillings if you put it with government bonds. If you're a bit speculative and you have a higher appetite for risk, you can put this in the stock market. We saw some counters such as Equity Bank return 26% in the last 2 weeks. So you can actually put it in the stock market, and between now and the year end, you could identify opportunities that can give you about 15 to 20% return by just investing in the securities exchange. The other place you can put your money is if you have a business. I always say if you run a business, putting your 1 million there could actually double it in a year. But it takes a lot of effort because you have to wake up each and every single day, identify the product you must sell, identify the client, get the product or service to the client each and every single day for this 1 million to become 2 million. So we've identified investing in the government of Kenya. You can actually get 7%, 7.3% for the 1 year paper. You can invest this in money market funds. The highest we've seen is about 10.2%. The average we're seeing is an 8% return. That will give you an 8% return on the 1 million. You can get a 15 to 20% investing in select counters on the NSE. You can even double your 1 million by investing in your own business or identifying a business that has proper corporate governance structures and internal structures where you put your 1 million and it could double in a year. Let's look at the next question that we have there. Okay, so we have a question from Wambani Edward, who's from Mumias County. And he's asking, can M-Pesa hold up to 1 million for business transactions? I think this value went up to 300,000 that you can hold on your M-Pesa for transactions, at least for the personal transactions. And if you have noticed of late, when you send an M-Pesa transaction, you get a message that tells you this is the amount remaining that you can transact for the day. So we can come back to you in terms of confirming for the business, because we know that Safaricom has rolled out the business option for M-Pesa. That's the M-Pesa pay bill numbers. We can confirm that for you. And I also encourage you to join us tomorrow because we will be talking about Safaricom business and trying to see what options M-Pesa has put out for you as a business user. Let's go to the next question. Somebody bought shares for a certain company, okay, and the market price went down to almost 30 cents for 4 years now. What can I do to recover my thousands of money? Nothing. If it's already gone down to 30 cents, I doubt it's going to go back up to the levels that it was in. And what I would encourage a person who actually sent this message is to take this as a learning opportunity. We learn through experiences, so you can either let them make you bitter or you can actually decide to learn from this experience. This is a very hard experience, and what it tells you is you need to learn the concept of cut your losses. If you decide if something goes down below 20%, I'm out, you need to predetermine your exit position in advance. So for example, if this counter was at 10 shillings, you should have determined in advance if it goes down to 20%, look and understand, has anything changed fundamentally in the company? You really should not sit somewhere hoping and praying that your stock gets to 30 cents and it's going to turn, because you actually owe yourself a financial responsibility to actually mind your own financial business and pay attention. So I think from this scenario, it's unfortunate that you have lost your money here. You could probably tell us what counter this is so we can see if you can make sense on this, but you won't be able to recover your initial investment. But the key takeout from here is decide your cutoff point. You know, predetermine your cutoff losses for any investment that you make. Decide 20%, it gets to 20%, I pay attention. When it gets to minus 30%, I am out, and you decide to get out of that. Let's look, I think we have 2 more commentaries. We can see the other one. Hi, Mwema. Thank you. My name is still Mbithe. Mwema is my father's name, so please feel free to call me Mbithe. Hi, Mwema. I am Phyllis from Moranga. I'm impressed by your program. Thank you very much, Phyllis. How do I invest with the stock exchange market? So for investing in the Nairobi Securities Exchange, you actually have to go through a broker. The NSE has a list of intermediaries, a list of brokers, who are about 23 of them on the NSE website. 6 of these brokers are actually available to you on your mobile phone. And then I think we have about 17 who facilitate online trading. There is an extensive list, and of late, the NSE has actually launched My NSE app. So you can be able to download the NSE app on your iPhone, on your Android. It gives you a list of all the stock brokers. You can click on one of the stock brokers that makes sense to you. They take you to their landing page, then you can open an account off your phone. You must open an account, that's a CDSC account, that's the first point. Then once you open, depending on the broker that you open with, they tend to give you stock points in terms of what should you buy this week, what should you sell this week. Alternatively, you can keep it here. This is a conversation we tend to take a deep dive on each and every Friday and Monday, giving you a sense of what's happening in the stock market and how can you be able to trade. Phyllis, if you are watching, thank you for being part of this conversation. Let us know how else we can be of assistance. We are happy to walk you through this. That's Metropole TV on Mbithe Mwema. We have one more commentary, I think. Steve is watching us from Isiolo. Steve, asante sana for watching us. I would like to engage in stock marketing business. Would you please give me clear guidelines to start it and the best broker to work with? Steve, as I had mentioned earlier, download the NSE app. That's on your Android phone, on your iPhone as well. And then you can be able to see a list of the brokers that are available to you. I would not want to recommend one broker over another, but what I do like is to identify what makes sense for me. I'm always on my mobile phone, so for sure I'd only be looking at the 6 brokers that offer a product on their phones, because I want to do all my transactions on my phone. This information is available on the NSE app. You can be able to download it. You can be able to see. We've hosted some of those brokers here. The likes of Genghis Capital have an app on their particular, they have the mobile app. FIDA also has the mobile app. AIB also has the mobile app. Those are the key ones that have the mobile app that actually makes sense for you. But there's a whole list of companies there that you can look out for. Key thing is My NSE app. That's on Android, that is on iPhone. It gives you a list. I think we're more or less done with this segment for Ask Mbithe, unless our graphics team has anything else to put up. It looks like we are done on that. So as always, I really enjoy this segment because I feel like we are talking. I really do hope that one of these days we can be in a space together to engage a bit further. But before that, I would encourage you, please send us an SMS. That's 20146. Where are you watching us from? What would you like to know? Reach out to us as well, Mbithe Mwema. That's on all social media platforms, or Metropole TV on all social media platforms. If we've answered your question today, let us know whether you're satisfied with the response or not. If we haven't answered your question today, please give us an opportunity to engage with you again tomorrow, same time. Remember, that's Ask Mbithe 20146, or you can reach out to us on our social media platforms, Mbithe Mwema on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, or Metropole TV on the similar social media platforms. We take a break. When I come back, we're doing a second version of understanding what's happening with the second-tier banks and what's also happening with some other companies such as Bamburi Cement, NSC, and Nation Media in terms of the earnings that have been reported. Linda Kiraithe will be joining us shortly via Zoom call, and she will be explaining all of this and more to Ask. Linda is a senior analyst with AIB AXY Investment Bank, and she will be taking us through her research tenets for this and what she expects for the rest of the trading week. Don't go anywhere. See you in a few.